Good morning, and once again, welcome to, today I'm just going to call it Monday. The number of different words that we can come up with for Monday: motivational Monday, moodscope Monday, mindfulness Monday. So I think today we're just going to stick with Monday, because what we're going to talk about today, again with the lovely Paula Thompson, is writing. Now this might not sound like up everybody's street. I kind of quite like making lists and doing little pieces of writing. Nothing that's worth anything. But I know Paula's got some great tips for dealing with stress and anxiety based around writing. So, Paula.
Well, that's what I would say straight away. Following on really from our talk yesterday on Sunday about talking to people. And you actually did say that some people find it difficult to say what they're thinking. And this is where writing absolutely is imperative. It's one of the things I always recommend to my clients is to, if you can't verbalize how you're feeling, if you find it embarrassing, if you find it, somebody has said to me in the past, this sounds awful, but my mum is so poorly, I wish she would just pass away. But they can't say that to people because there is this perception that that's not what you would say. So write it out. Write it down. Write down everything that's in your head. If you've got a really hectic day, some of the things that we recommend you do is get a to-do list and write out everything so that
That's
next
me.
day...
Famous for my lists.
But a to-do list is really, really important. And it clears the brain so that that day you've done everything that you should do, you've written out what you want to do the next day, and so your brain doesn't have to hold on to that information. So then the next day you can look at your to-do list and you're off and running again. But it's more about emotions that we're talking about. So if you're having a particularly bad day, you've got nobody that you want to express that to, you don't know how to express it, write it out. If you can't write it, draw it.
Yeah.
Some people are really, really artistic and, they get the pencil out or whatever and they draw how they're feeling. And if you are seeing a therapist, that is so important to be able to take that along and saying, this is how I felt on Monday. This is how I felt on Friday. And that gives that therapist a steer as to where you're going.
But equally, I think sometimes maybe if, like you said, the lady whose mother was terminally ill and you get to a point where you just want it over, if you write that down, you don't necessarily have to show anybody.
No.
You can tear it up and put it in the bin. It's just a way of allowing those feelings a little bit of release.
Yeah.
So that they're not all pent up. And
100%. And I say to people, write it out. And once you've written it out, it's yours. You can do with it whatever you want. You can screw it up and throw it at something. You can tear it up, or you can burn it. And I had a client of mine that had a very, very serious issue with a parent. And we'd gone through a few sessions and I said to this person, just write it out. Just write out everything that you'd want to say to this person. And then I said, and it's up to you what you do with it. At the next session that we had, she was like a different person. Completely. Her facial expressions, her whole demeanour was so upbeat. And I said, so what happened? She said, I wrote everything that I've always wanted to say, and then I burnt it. And I watched that go up into the sky, and I was done.
that's a great metaphor.
Just done.
Absolutely great.
It would all gone, and I just feel like a new person.
And I think also it's important to say, again, we've used this phrase before, that there's no one size fits all.
No.
So it could be that the whole writing thing isn't for you. Some people might just want to scribble on the corner of a newspaper.
Yeah.
Some people might actually want to go and buy a journal and start writing a journal. So again, it's whatever works for you.
Absolutely. But one of the other powerful things is to find 3 positives every day and write them down. perfect timing.
Absolutely.
So just think of 3 things that have happened to you in the day. For some people it is literally just getting out of bed and getting showered and changed. Other people, they've had banter with their work colleagues, or they've had a phone call from somebody they've not spoken to for a while. Write them down, because on your bad days you can go back and read through those.
Yeah.
And then you can find something good out of a bad day.
Absolutely.
If in doubt, write it out.
If in doubt, write it out. I like that. So we're going to leave you with that. Think of 3 positives every day, and if in doubt, write it out. Thank you, Paula.